Ooh, this is a really easy question we can answer today. Who was this for? Me. This Disney classic is actually its secret shame. I think this is the second time we've touched on this subject, man, and I still feel the same exact way. And I did actually rewatch this recently, and I still feel the same way. It's like, I love this thing, man. It is what it is, though. I'm based though, so like, I don't think I'll ever change my mind. You know?
Woo, yeah! Ooh, look at me and my bad self.
This is The Emperor's New Groove.
Indeed it is.
Today, it's seen as an underrated comedic classic in the Disney vault. But to Disney, it will always be remembered as just a deeply troubled production. In fact, it was so troubled that they tried to erase its behind-the-scenes documentary from existence.
What? A llama? He's supposed to be dead!
Yeah, weird.
The
Wait, what about the
Emperor's
puffs?
New Groove began its life
Bro,
in
those puffs!
1994.
Where are the puffs at? I thought they were on his plate. I don't know why, but those puffs always get me hungry.
Supposed to
Crunks puffs.
be dead!
Yeah, weird.
The Emperor's New Groove
True.
began its life in 1994 as the cherished pet project of Roger Allers. Having co-directed The Lion King alongside Rob Minkoff, Allers' name
Banger.
became synonymous with ambitious narratives done through the medium of serious, award-worthy animation, which is exactly what The Emperor's New Groove was supposed to be. Tentatively titled The Kingdom of the Sun, Allers
Alright.
was heavily inspired by South American myths and Anthony Hope's
Obviously.
1894 novel The Prisoner of Zenda. His story was that of Pacha, a young llama herder
Pacha.
who teaches the arrogant Emperor Menko how to lead with humility and kindness.
And there's Manco, the arrogant, self-centered prince.
I can't
Oh,
believe I've been
yeah.
here this long and no one.
I forgot. I think we did the last video touched on this a little bit. This is actually showing off some parts that they had in some development. This is cool. This looks. I mean, I've been really into like special features on DVDs. I don't have the Emperor's New Groove, unfortunately.
It's kissed my
But this would be a cool one to watch.
feet.
After Menko's
But anyways, what I took away from that last video, like in mind for when I rewatched the movie, I just paid attention more into that Aztec and Mayan type background. I was trying to like put it into perspective of a movie of like how it would blend in with like the tribalism or like religion type aspect, because it sounds like that's what they originally wanted to go for. I was like trying to imagine it, but I always got lost.
Been here this.
Like I can see the parts they like showed off with it, but I kind of wish they did do more. But I also like was conflicted, and if they did show more, would it still be as campy and as like, would it still have that same hilarity? It'd probably be a different one, I feel like.
This long
Also, trying to imagine David Spade in this setting was funny as
and no one's
that
kissed
was
my
so
feet.
funny.
After Menko's evil
Yeah,
advisor and her
it's,
sentient rock minion turn him into a llama,
Interesting
Pacha and Menko have to work to
ideas.
foil their advisor's plan to destroy the sun. The voice cast consisted of Owen Wilson as Pacha, David Spade as Menko, Eartha Kitt as the evil advisor Yzma, and Laura Prepon as his love interest. And to top it all off, the film also would have included a soundtrack by Sting.
Man
Others pitched the
said
movie to-
Owen Wilson. Bro, Owen Wilson was always in like some interesting like eyes for side projects. But I guess everybody is if you're an actor. Like you're always up for consideration. But I feel like Owen Wilson has always come in the archive as some of like the goofiest, which is, you know, that's fine. That's actually good for him. I like that he's going for the range. It's just like holy shit. the opportunities, like him as Pacha.
Wilson as Pacha, David Spade as Menko, Eartha Kitt as the evil advisor Yzma, and Laura Prepon as his love interest. And to top it all off, the film also would have included a soundtrack by Sting. Allers pitched the movie to Disney's then CEO Michael Eisner, who apparently went as far as to say that The Kingdom of the Sun
Has all the elements of a classic Disney film.
It officially went into production in late 1994 with no forecasted release date. All was well for Allers, but we know how this story ends, and it doesn't include his name in the director's slot of the end credits.
This is not good.
Oh no.
By 1997, Disney was taking a look at their animated
is
feature
scary.
films, and they weren't happy with what they saw. Pocahontas and The Hunchback of Notre Dame had both been billed as serious awards bait movies. Yet all the company had to show for it was disappointing box office numbers and countless articles on the controversial nature of their cartoons.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, these weren't my bag. Bro, every time I look back on like early Disney, these are never like up for contention as most exciting. Like I really don't remember either of these.
And countless articles on the controversial nature of their cartoons. Eisner and the powers that be decided to pivot to more lighthearted fare. As detailed in the documentary The Sweatbox, this change would ultimately prove disastrous for the Kingdom of the Sun. Using the same name as the unair-conditioned screening room at Disney's Burbank studio, The Sweatbox was originally supposed to be a simple making-of documentary.
Shit.
But like the screening room...
Wait, okay, wait, when they say it like that, I kind of see where it was supposed to go even more. I feel like he's about to explain it, but I feel like I see where it's supposed to go even more now that he said that Pocahontas and the Hunchback of Notre Dame came out around this time. And that was supposed to be their new switch of like style and presence and appearance to like people, just their general presence. And then they had terrible reception. So the idea of a whole Mayan Aztecian Kingdom of Sun, they probably shut that shit down. They're like, yo, we gotta go back.
Which had a reputation for being the place where creative
we gotta get a little goofy, man. There's like
projects go to die. The Sweatbox documentary ended up being more than director Trudy Styler bargained for.
Screening the movies like this is having someone chop your hands off and pull your pants down in front of a crowd, and you stand there incapable of pulling your pants back up.
Right on.
The Sweatbox introduces us to Mark Dindal, who was brought on to co-direct by producer Randy Fulmer. As a relatively unknown artist and writer on several Disney and Warner Brothers projects, Dindal brought a fresh-faced perspective to the production. The problem was that this fresh perspective was directly opposed to Aller's own goals for the film. Their warring ideas made for a chaotic creative process that left everyone involved reeling, from the animators to their big-name musician to the actors. David Reynolds, a writer for Conan, was brought on for the screenplay. The comedic elements were punched up, the characters were tweaked, the voice cast was only given a few pages at a time as they were being written, and Sting was writing songs for sequences that were barely past the concept stage.
I was writing songs in the dark, really, based on sort of hearsay of what the film was going to be. There was no hard script.
Through it all, nothing was actually getting done.
Man was just fucking coming up with
shit. The film was in real danger.
They were just like, hey, imagine this unfinished idea of this unfinished world that we have. Bro, if Sting pulled some... I don't even remember the music that much, so I don't feel like he really produced a hot hit of, but if he did, that would have been impressive. Like, he was straight told... Well, is he on the original? I don't even know now, thinking, is he on the soundtrack? But, like, if he pulled out, like, a masterpiece, that would have been crazy. Like, he just had a vague idea
of being canceled.
Holy shit.
However, thanks to promotional deals already in place, the House of Mouse was now keen on forcing the thing through by the summer of the year 2000. With the pressure mounting to show some tangible progress, Allers and Dindal were set against one another. They split the team into two groups and were forced to pitch their reworked versions of the movie to Disney's higher-ups. Ultimately, it was Dindal's team who won over the hearts and minds of the producers.
Not this. This. Not this. Winner, loser.
After 4 years of work, The Kingdom of the Sun was dead. In its place was a road trip buddy comedy that used its South American setting as little more than a two-dimensional backdrop. Due to the scope of the project, the team was granted an extra 6 months to work through it all, despite that original summer of 2000 deadline that forced the change in the first place. Finding the new direction too painful to continue with, Allers voluntarily left the project at the end of 1998.
You know, I try and I try.
That's gonna hurt a lot because, man, I don't know what his idea of like where the story was gonna go, or if it was even that idea of like Pacha and Cusco were supposed to be running together and going through an adventure or whatever. But it must be such a pain in the ass to straight have your partner working beside you come up with a movie, they get their movie made, and then every like idea you had is straight just like backdrop material. Like it's like
deadline,
or like not even, it's just like a light homage, which is like in some cases would be kind of cool. Like if it was another movie about another movie being in the background, I guess it's kind of cool. Or if you had like a small idea about like some garden thing you know that somebody owns, but like it was his own movie. it's like someone just, it's like a cover-up tattoo almost. It's like
forced the change in the first
like shit, man. There's a
place. Finding the new direction too painful to continue with, Allers voluntarily left the project at the end of 1998.
You know, I try and I try. There's just no respect for anyone with vision. That's
Like, and your vision isn't even treated like as serious. It's just treated as cute. It's like yeah, the only way I can really explain it is like an idea of a cover-up tattoo.
First place. Finding the new direction too painful to continue with, Allers voluntarily left the project at the end of 1998.
You know, I try and I try. There's just no respect for anyone with vision. That's it. There's just nothing I can do about it.
The movie was now being overseen by Dindal and producer Randy Fulmer, and practically everything needed to be overhauled. Pacha was aged up, so Owen Wilson was replaced by the more fatherly John Goodman. The sentient rock minion was turned into a goofy human voice.
Okay, so maybe Pacha as Owen Wilson made more sense. Now that this is unfolding a little more in front of my eyes, this makes a little more sense of their selections and their ideas, because it seems like a whole 180. Yeah, not 360. Like, it's a total flip, you know?
By Patrick Warburton, both love interests were cut. David Spade was elevated to main character status as the newly named Emperor Cusco. And while they tried to rework Sting's contributions, his songs were removed, save for the only musical sequence in the entire film, as well as the end-credits song. He found the whole thing frustrating and stepped away from the project.
There's something intrinsic.
That's unfortunate. He has a really fun song here in the beginning. Which leads to the you threw up my groove. It's like that little part is nice, but damn, that's another, like, that's gotta hurt again. He actually sounds like he actually came up with shit with a half vision, and it sounds like it was gonna get used, and then they were like, nah. It's like, oh,
sequence in the entire film, as well as the end credits song.
That's gotta hurt too.
Frustrating, and stepped away from the project.
Bro, this is a whole bunch of fucking pain going around here.
There's something intrinsically faulty with this film, and I find it very difficult to continue working on something that goes against my beliefs.
A full script was never completed. The writers and voice actors were all working with multiple versions of largely unconnected pages that were only loosely strung together and jammed into place in editing. They hired and subsequently lost a composer before settling on John Debney. The team was practically laying the tracks as the train pulled into the station, but the movie was finished. It premiered on December 10th, 2000 as The Emperor's New Groove, and it bombed. The movie was an embarrassing box office flop that would only find its footing a year later when it became the best-selling DVD of 2001.
Oh, yeah.
6 years of messy development notwithstanding.
I used to have it on
later, 2001.
Wait, really? They didn't have it? It wasn't best-selling VHS? I used to have this VHS, the plastic white case, and I had the DVD.
DVD of 2001.
I was stacked,
6 years of messy development notwithstanding, The Emperor's New Groove actually is a good movie.
Not a big deal,
It
really.
stands apart stylistically from the other Disney animated films of the era. Its humor is sharp, and there's a warmth to its message that shines in some unexpected ways.
True.
Today, it's a cult classic that only grows more beloved every year. It's a happy ending for the movie, director Mark Dindal, and Disney. But remember, these are not the only characters in the story.
This story's about me, not him. Okay, you got it? All right, we're gonna move ahead. Sorry to slow you down.
Right.
Motivated purely by their bottom line, Disney pressured Roger Allers to upend his movie based on the whims of an ever-changing market. In an interview from 2014, he said, "I put 4 years of my heart and energy into that one. They kept just enough of my elements that I can never produce my original vision or story elsewhere." So Allers had his movie ripped away from him, and the only proof that it ever existed remains in a half-buried documentary. The Sweatbox really highlights how downright cynical a lot of the creative process is at Disney's animation studio, which was not lost on the executives. They refused to include the Sweatbox as part of the DVD features and did their best to silence the film completely. While it did have a few showings in 2002, they mostly succeeded in shutting it down. That is, until it was posted online in 2012 and has been circulating the internet ever since.
Oh shit!
The Emperor's New Groove.
While The Emperor's New...
Oh wait, they said it out on the internet? Oh no way.
In 2012 and has been circulating the internet ever since.
What's the title?
The Emperor's New Groove.
While The Emperor's New Groove will continue to be seen as a stellar movie by many, it should be acknowledged that it steamrolled over something just as...
Yeah, no, what he's saying I was gonna bring up, I did have in mind. I totally didn't steal this and not taking it away to make a point. Totally not. I definitely had this in mind. 100%. I swear. I was gonna say that it kind of sucks. I enjoy this movie a lot, but now knowing what it was supposed to be for this guy, and not only that guy, for Sting, who actually seems like he made some magic happen, now nobody will ever get to hear it. And not even that, it's just like animators and people who had to shift and whatnot, like people who had to shift visions, and maybe people who enjoyed the vision and then had to change and didn't want to leave because they have, you know, obligations and whatnot. It's like, damn, man, you really had to like bend a lot of people's backbone and fucking set a new one while still having the old one. It's like, shit. A little weird, man. It's just a little weird.
Good.
I still like the movie a lot, but yeah.
Maybe even better.
Every time I watch it now, I will be like, man, that was a little unfortunate. Just like, and in terms of like, yeah, just art. And it's just like, that's fucked. That's so fucked. There's no other way to say it. It's fucked, man. It's
Welcome
fucked.
to Goose-Go-topia, my ultimate summer getaway, complete with water slide.
Ooh.
And that's it for today's video, everyone. Thanks so much for watching all the way to the end.